It's the Carter Man, host of Coffee with the Carter Man, America's number one political activist podcast, and I'm out here in the cold again because on Christmas Eve, because I want to talk about America being left out in the cold again and what we need to do about it. Okay, I'm referring to the most outrageous behavior by an outgoing president in history. A disgraced outgoing president, a president who was defeated for re-election. Now you might say, no, he didn't run. Kamala Harris was defeated. She was his chosen follower. She was the one that he had set up to get the nomination when he finished up, he thought, in 4 years, until she stabbed him in the back and made it about 30 days. But nonetheless, he chose her to take his place. So her defeat, was a defeat of Joe Biden. And he is getting his revenge in ways that we have never before seen in American history. We've never before seen this in American history. I want you to think about what this man is doing in the days between his November the 5th defeat and when Donald Trump assumes office on January 20th, commuting the sentences of 37 of the most vilest murderers in America. People who did things like rape and murder little children. People murdered entire families. And Biden, because he wants to thwart Donald Trump from allowing these executions to take place, has just commuted their sentence, given them free room and board the rest of their life, which is what it is. There's no other way to look at it. He has instructed the bureaucracy to spend as much money as they can on his phony Inflation Reduction Act, which he admitted is phony, his CHIPS Act, and several other acts that he had passed, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act, bipartisan because the rhinos in Congress sold us out on it. He's instructed the bureaucracy to spend as much as you possibly can. Now, while America is $36 trillion in debt, okay, the federal debt. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Is selling off pieces of the wall so that Trump can't build that wall and protect our country from the illegal alien thugs and murderers that Joe Biden has let in. No president has ever launched a vendetta like this against the American people in history. And something needs to be done about it, and I'll tell you what it is. In January of 1933, the 20th Amendment became part of our law of the land, and that moved the inauguration from what was then March 4th to when it is now January 20th. Okay? A lot of people don't realize that. We have moved, the period used to be even longer than it is now, God forbid, until the 20th Amendment, January 1933. Well, it's time to pass the 27th Amendment to move it to 2 weeks after the election. And I'll tell you why. Because the Democrat Party can never again be trusted to oversee a presidential transition. It's just that simple. They have now shown what they are. They have proven their lack of mettle. They have shown that they have demonstrated beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is a vile party which essentially hates the American people. Okay? I mean, that's what this election was all about. It was to turn the party over to Democrat elitists and finish off the middle class. Thank God the middle class rose up and said, oh, no, you don't. We're putting in somebody who will defend us and look out for our rights. So Biden is getting his revenge now, and it's time for the Republicans, for God's sake, Republicans, do something for a change to pass the 27th Amendment, moving the inauguration to 2 weeks after the election, the Democrats can't be trusted. They've proven now they cannot be trusted. So let's put an end to the charade, okay? Elect a new president, get him in office before the outgoing president can pull another stunt like the devious, demented, diabolical Joe Biden and all around him are pulling right now. Look, all this is being done when they're shoving papers in front of Biden and taking away his drool cup long enough to sign them, or they're just using the auto pen. It's one or the other. This is not just Biden alone. This is a Democrat Party plot to undermine a presidential transition, and we have to make sure it doesn't happen again. So call your Republican representative and say, guys, I know you don't like to get off your butts and do anything. You like to talk, but you don't like to walk the talk. Now I'm asking you, walk the talk. Move forward on an amendment. Push it. Become vocal advocates of it, an amendment to shorten the time between the election and the inauguration, because we can't afford to trust the Democrat Party ever again. Let's do this thing.